Great day, great day, great day. I'm Coach Kevin, your basketball recruiting expert with Shooting for Greatness Academy, right? And today we're going to cover the 10 roles and responsibilities of a college level point guard, right? We've been going through our point guards, we're going to go over the point guards for a little while to make sure we're going to go take it position by position. I'm going to break it down for y'all so that every position understands the roles and responsibilities, right? I mean, that's the main thing about being a good player is knowing your position, right? A lot of people don't know their position, right? You're a good player, but you don't know your position, right? There's no such thing as positionless basketball. Or you can have highly skilled players, big, strong, athletic, but everyone have to know their position, know your role, accept your role, and star in your role, right? So I'm gonna give you 10 roles and responsibilities of a college level point guard, right? If you want to make it to the next level, right? It's always things you got to work on. You could be the quickest, you could be the fastest, you could be the strongest, you could jump the highest, right? But this game is mental. So you got to be surgical and you got to be able to have certain characteristics and skills that you got to keep developing if you're going to keep progressing, because you're always going to meet someone that's just as big as you, just as strong as you, just as fast as you, jump just as high as you or higher, right? So here we go. 10, right? Number one is distribute the ball. You got to be a pass first, right? Nothing wrong with scoring, but you got to be able to get people involved, right? How else can you become a championship team if you don't get people involved? You can have a 30-point game scores on the side of you, right? And you could score 20 and get 10, 15 assists. Have a dominant big man, right? You have to be a pass first point guard. It doesn't mean you can't score, right? A point guard got the ball in his hand 40% of the time. You got to let other people touch that basketball, right? So there's nothing wrong with scoring. You're always going to get the ball. Give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, right? So as long as you give, you always going to get. That's why my favorite player is LeBron, but never mind that. But number two is a playmaker, right? Be able to make plays, right? Make play passing the ball, make plays on the defensive end, make plays on the offensive end, make plays for other people. Just be a playmaker. Be making plays out there, right? If you keep making plays, it's not matter about what kind of skills you got all the time. Just be a playmaker. Learn how to be a winner, right? Number three is gotta master the open shot, right? You gotta master the open shots, right? Because after you break people down, they're gonna be worrying about the other people, right? So that's why it's very cerebral type of approach, right? Because once you master making other people bring out their best characteristics, then as you give, it's going to be given back to you, right? So once it's given back to you, you got to be prepared to knock down them open shots, right? And if you consistently knock down them open shots, your points, your efficiency, everything is going to be high. And now you're going to create a winning environment, right? Because you're the point guard, right? Number four is you got to be a penetrator, right? You got to get past them. You got to have a good first step. Got to get past people with control, understand how to break. Like I said, you got to understand. If you understand what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, who you're trying to get the ball to, what the coach wants you to do, what kind of offense that you're running, and what's the goals and the agenda, then you'll have a better understanding of how and where and why you're going to do the things that you're going to do, right? But you got to be able to penetrate to get past someone. If you can't get past someone, you're not gonna break down no defense, right? Number five is be a defensive playmaker. You got to be a lockdown defender, right? Because there's other point guards out there that's very, very good, and they're running the show for their team. So if you allow their team to run, then that team's gonna play to their strengths, right? So, but if you could disrupt that, if you could be a disruptor, be a playmaker, right? Be able to help out, be able to lock down the other person, maybe even you don't even have to get a steal all the time, right? You could just put pressure and force them, make them uncomfortable. You might just make the other point guard uncomfortable with getting the ball to the post. When they used to getting the ball to the post, now the postman is getting the ball a couple feet out, and now his percentages is going down, right? Or you might be a great rebounder where you could just crash the ball real good and then push the break, make plays for other people, right? Or get out in the in the stealing lane. You might be athletic, come on the weak side and do blocks, right? It's a lot of ways you could be a defensive playmaker, right? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was number 6. Sorry. Number 7 Number 6 was being defensive playmaker. Number 7 is sets the tempo, right? You got to set the tempo. Do y'all like to play fast? Do y'all trying to play slow? Like I just said, are you trying to do? Did the big man touch the ball, or is you want to run and gun and be like a Golden State, right? How many shots you're trying to take? How many possessions does your team need to win, right? You got to know that, right? You got to know, all right, we up by 10, we up by 6, we up by 4, right? We should slow it down. It's 2, 3, 4 minutes left, right? We was playing at this pace, but now let's play at this pace, right? Or that wasn't working. We can't beat this team. It's, styles make matchups, right? Styles makes matchups. So if you got a great point guard that can understand what kind of style the team got to play to win that game, then that's a very good skill to have, right? So set the tempo, right? Set the tempo could be you come and you push that ball first play of the game and score and let them know you got to get back on defense, right? So that's number 7, set the tempo. Number 8 is call the plays. You got to know what's going on out there. You got to tell people, you got to direct the traffic, right? You're the traffic director. You're the captain of the ship. Everything don't move. You got the ball in your hand 40% of the time. So, if you're holding it too long, you're not getting the ball to be all that's coming through you, right? But you got to call the plays, right? Maybe a play don't need to be played. Maybe the play is just get the ball to the hot man. That's you. Say, hey, listen, hey, get him open, right? But that's something you got to see, right? And after you call the plays, number 9 is you got to run the offense. You have to run the offense. Make sure you're not turning it over, making sure that you're playing at the pace that y'all want. Make sure that everyone's getting their shots, right? This person needs 15 shots. That person needs 10 shots, right? That person like to come off the screen. That person like to slip. You got to know all this stuff, right? You got to run the offense. You're the quarterback on the court. That's what the coach is expecting from you. That's a huge responsibility, right? And number 10, which is the most important thing, you have to be a leader, right? You have to lead. That's a characteristic that's beyond the physical skill set, right? You can have all the physical skill sets, but if you don't have the ability to lead, it's going to hurt your team, right? Either way, you're going to lead one way or another. You're going to be a good leader or a bad leader. Leaders are chosen. That's how I feel. You could become a leader and thrust yourself into the leadership, but then that means you chose yourself to be a leader, right? But in order for you to be a leader, people got to follow you, right? And so you want to lead by example, right? You want to be you want to create the environment. You're the one that's the coach on the court, right? Whatever the coach wants the team to do, you have to be able to trust and have that relationship. So you should be talking with the coach often, right? So there you go. Those are the 10 roles and responsibilities of a college level point guard, right? That's distribute the ball, be a pass first, be a playmaker, be a shot creator, right? Be a shot taker, right? Be a penetrator, be a defensive playmaker, set the tempo, call plays, run the offense, and be a leader. There you go. I'm Coach Kevin, your college basketball recruiting expert. We're shooting for greatness, right? And if you like anything that I said in this video, please like, share, subscribe, and DM or text if you want information about how you could earn a basketball scholarship. God bless.